Welcome back, Deeper Than Most, guys. I'm your host, DJ.
And I'm your host, Sav.
And this week we are on episode 37.
37. Almost to 40. Almost to 50. We've been talking about 50 for a while, and we're so excited. Yeah.
A good minute.
Yeah, since like the beginning. We have episode 50. We want to do something big. Same with episode 100. We want to do something big. Yes. Really big for episode 100. So... yeah, episode 50 is quickly approaching. So we're continuing the spookiest days of Halloween. I don't know what we're going to call it. We never really came up with an official name. So I'm down with spookiest days.
DTM Spooky Corner? I don't know.
DTM Spooky Corner?
I guess.
Okay, welcome back to the DTM Spooky Corner. We are on week 2 of spooky season. Today we thought today we thought it would be really fun to get in the groove, get in the spirit of scary movies and horror in general and just Halloween as a whole. Yeah, so we are going to be listing off 10 different genres of horror. Yes. All movies, so we'll be giving recommendations today of just good horror movies to watch around this season. So, and then we also have TV shows included as well that are like horror related or have horror elements.
Yes.
And so this is going to be really, really fun. We don't have a Dose of the Most segment, but we've got a lot of movie recommendations. Definitely. 2 for each genre. And we didn't go over like every horror genre there is, but we've got a list of genres that we will be covering.
So check out our spooky watch list. In this episode, we will be listing some of the coolest, some of our...
yeah, I would say it's like one of our favorites from like each genre. Not necessarily our favorite. I mean, some might be, but just one of our favorite movies from each genre. There's so many out there. So many
different movies. So just enjoy this video and the movies that we bring to you guys because you might find one that you like.
Yes, exactly. Hopefully you guys do, and hopefully you can give us feedback. We want to hear it.
And... like we mentioned last week, we are still running that giveaway for the entire month of October.
Ooh, cash.
Yeah.
Cash.
Who doesn't want cash? Free money?
No, literally, it's free. All you gotta do is subscribe and respond to an ending question in the comments on our YouTube. So you're probably already here. I mean, the like button's right down there. Like it. So yeah.
And if you want to be, a little early to the game or a little, up to date, answer one of these ending questions.
Yeah, that's true. Let us know what movie you've seen. What's your favorite movie from a certain genre? Do you even like horror? Because not everybody's a horror fan.
And if you're not a horror fan, give us like a genre that you like. We could check it out and see if we...
yeah, that'd be fun to do like a watch list.
Yeah.
Episode again. Where we just like recommend good movies and shows.
Sure,
we're good on the shows. We have so many shows that we watch.
So many.
Yeah. So let's get into the list.
So we will be covering psych thrillers, slashers, residual haunts, guts and gore, and haunted objects.
As well as we will throw in like a bonus for the TV show because why not? I mean, sometimes you just need a little quick show to pass the times by. Sometimes a movie's not enough.
10, 13 episodes get you in there.
Yeah. And to continue on, we're gonna jump into the genres of possession, found footage, horror comedy, animated, and B-rated. I'm excited.
These are gonna be fun.
Everybody loves a good B-rated movie. How could you not?
Right.
So we're gonna start off with the TV show. Our first recommendation is Goosebumps, and this aired from 1995 to 1998. Goosebumps is based on the children's books, which are written by R.L. Stine, and boy, I haven't heard his name in forever. I remember back in elementary school, it was all the rage. Like, everybody was talking about
we used to
Goosebumps.
always get the little Goosebumps books or
Yeah,
whatever.
like Scholastics,
and
the book fairs and
people
stuff.
used to get mad because somebody had checked out the one they wanted to read. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm. Comment below if you guys remember, like, book fairs and the Scholastic stuff. Like, the rewards and, like, you know, when they would come to your school
I
and
used to be
set
so
up.
mad because I used to take a little Scholastic
And you could
thing
buy
home,
from the
right?
catalog.
Yeah, I used to take the catalog
And they'd have
home.
good books,
And my
too.
grandma used to hit me with the boy. Ain't nobody finna spend no money at
On
this
some
book.
books. But, like, you need it, though.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with reading.
Still end up buying stuff, though.
The first season is hosted by R.L. Stine himself. Goosebumps is a kid-friendly anthology horror series. The series revolves around teens and tweens who often find themselves in odd and creepy situations. And it also highlights like how they conquer these situations and overcome their fears. And most of these stories include the paranormal or occults. So if you're into anything culty, the paranormal is a pretty broad spectrum. So yeah, it's just a good classic, I feel like. And it is like kid friendly. So I mean, this was something that was out when we were kids, you know?
Mind you, like, watching it.
Well, actually, it was out like before we were born, but
still
it re-aired.
Yeah, we still saw it.
It was still popping. Yeah.
But mind you, watching shows like this through like an adult lens is so different. So if you're gonna watch it again, be prepared for.
Ooh, on that note, I recommend watching the Powerpuff Girls. As an
Powerpuff
adult,
Girls, totally inspired.
that shit crazy. Yeah, all types of hidden innuendos that you just would have never known before.
So our second show is Supernatural, and I don't know how many of you are familiar with Supernatural, but me personally, I enjoy the show.
Yeah, it's a classic.
It is.
I feel like it has a cult following.
Oh, it definitely
I feel like everybody knows about Supernatural.
14 seasons, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like Grey's Anatomy, you know, or The Walking Dead.
Grey's Anatomy is still going. Oh my gosh.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I've never seen it till this day. Till this day.
Tried to get her to watch this shit, having it.
No.
But the show follows Sam and Dean Winchester across America as they encounter several paranormal events and odd occurrences.
And Sam and Dean are brothers.
Yes. And that's from...
And they're...
and that's from Wendigos to La Llorona to different...
Literally everything, yeah.
Literally everything.
Anything horror,
a span of 14
they're fighting
seasons,
it.
A span of 14 seasons, they've gotten into everything.
It's a really fun and creative show, though. It's different than, I don't know, like Vampire Diaries or, you know, just shit like that.
And now we get into our movies. Oh, are you guys ready? Because I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited. We got some good ones.
First on the list is Psych Thriller. And our first... Do I even need to say? Yeah. Our first movie is Oldboy. It is a 2003 film.
I've never heard of that.
It's actually a fucking amazing film. So,
is it a K-drama?
It's not necessarily a K-drama, but it is a Korean film.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have not heard of it.
It's a great fucking movie.
I like how we both picked Korean films.
It's a great... They're both good.
Korean films, I don't know, they just hit it on the mark every time.
It's the emotion.
Like the psychological horror and the thriller is just like different than what we see over here in the U.S. Mm-hmm. But it still hits, you know? But it hits differently.
It does. The film follows a drunk Korean businessman named Dae-soo as he is abducted and imprisoned in what looks like a hotel room.
That sounds weird.
Yeah. Seeing it, like watching the movie and seeing it, it's definitely a concept that you have to wrap your mind around.
Yeah.
And so he spends the next 15 years of his life trying to figure out why he was kidnapped and who kidnapped him.
Ooh, trying to solve the puzzle, put the pieces together. That's fun. And I might have to watch that.
Yeah, and the messed up part is the only reason he even got abducted in the first place, he was trying to get a gift.
Wait, don't spoil it.
Damn, I wasn't going to.
Oh, okay.
He was trying to get a gift for someone special, and then, you know, he got on the train expecting to go home. Next thing he knows, he's in the hotel room.
Oh, so he doesn't even know how he got there.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
That's creepy. Was he drunk?
Oh, yeah, no, he was drunk as hell. But he was also, like, drugged up, too, so.
Oh, they drugged him?
Yeah.
Oof. All right, so our second movie is Parasite. And I'm sure a lot of people have heard of Parasite. If you haven't, right after you finish this episode, go watch it. Because it's really, really good.
It's on Hulu.
Yeah, it is. And it came out in 2019. Parasite is directed by Bong Joon-ho, and Parasite is a South Korean comedy thriller. The plot follows a poor family who scams and deceives the wealthy family they are employed by. The family manages to infiltrate the home of the wealthy, posing as highly skilled and trained professionals. However, the twist in this movie is one that has true horror elements that make for a light-hearted, spooky night. And honestly, this movie is just... It's like cinematically beautiful.
Oh, it's like
for
great,
one.
Fucking great film.
Yes, and the build-up, it has you like on edge, on your seat the whole film because you can't really grasp what the end result could be.
Right.
And when the end result gets there, when you're finally there, you're just like, whoa, this is too much. This is too much.
It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with.
It
Especially
is.
like when
It's crazy.
When you
And
break
it's
it down,
unexpected.
when you're breaking it down and like actually watching it and paying attention, oof.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, there's a lot of hidden details, and it's just a great film all around. The acting is amazing.
Superb.
The dialogue, literally just everything. The premise, the plot. It's everything you could ask for in a movie, especially a psychological thriller. It's
Right.
one that you wouldn't suspect to be a psychological thriller.
Right. It just
Especially with
seems
the
like
comedy elements.
Yeah, it just seems like a regular old film, and then
Yeah.
shit
The
started
plot
happening.
thickens. Next, we have Slasher. And slasher movies are always good.
They're always fun
a
to
fun
watch.
time.
Yeah.
So our first one is Cabin in the Woods, which came out in 2011. Honestly, I think this is my favorite slasher movie.
Really?
Yeah, and this movie gets a lot of like flack. Not a lot of people like Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
They say it's too campy.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, and like satire-y, but I think it's just fun, and it's like one of
That's
those
the fun in
guilty
it, yeah.
pleasures, you know? It's like a trash-ass slasher movie, and it's got all the tropes, like all the good
Yup.
stuff. So, Cabin in the Woods is a comedy horror slasher film that was produced by Joss Whedon, who has previously worked on the popular TV show Supernatural.
Supernatural.
So, bringing it back in, because if he's worked on Supernatural, he's definitely got experience, and like
Exactly.
it's
He
a
knows what
great
he's
show.
doing, yeah.
Yeah, so he's got some type of background. The film stars Chris Hemsworth, which I forgot, aka Thor.
Is Thor part of the Marvel universe?
Oh yeah, I did ask that in one
Yeah.
episode. Oof. Don't call me out like that. And Jesse Williams, who was the motion capture for the AI deviant Marcus in the PlayStation game Detroit Become Human.
PlayStation exclusive?
Yes, it's so damn good. I'm patiently waiting to get a probably PS5 at this point.
We're gonna get a PS5.
Yeah,
We're
like
definitely
just so I
getting
can.
a
That's the
PS5.
first game I'm gonna get. I never got the
It's a
chance to
great
play
game.
it. Yeah,
It's a great game.
but I've seen gameplays. I watched the Rad Brad. Shout out to him with his great
and I watched-
commentary.
And if you guys are familiar with any YouTube gamers, I watched Iberleezy.
Syndicate Fox is
if you,
good too.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, but anyways, we're getting off topic. But check out Detroit Become Human. It's a great game. It's about AI and all that extra
What decision
futuristic
will you
shit.
make?
Yeah. So the story follows a group of college students who fit all of your horror movie tropes. You got the stoner nerdy kid.
Yep.
You got the jock who gets all the girls.
Yep.
Basically frat boy material. You got, I think it was the one black friend. It was the
Yep.
black guy
Token
who's
black.
like on the sports team probably.
Yep, the token black guy.
Yep. Then you got, the college. She's like trying to get with her teacher. Just all the basic
type of shit.
tropes. All the basic. And then you got the innocent final girl. Yes, the wholesome final girl. The story follows all of that we just explained.
The tropes.
Yeah, it follows all the tropes journeys through a retreat to a remote cabin in the woods. And I really love this premise. I love a cabin in the wood vibe. We were talking about planning a trip like sometime towards the end of this year to go like just
we're doing
a
it.
cabin getaway,
We're
you know?
doing it.
And yeah, I still want to do that, but I just love the feel of like a cabin in the woods. I just love that.
If you don't hear from us, you know what happened.
The crazies. So, or the goddamn, let me not say it before they come get my ass. Skinwalkers. Anyways, so they all end up falling victim to backwoods zombies, but the true mystery behind the threat is more than they could ever imagine.
Don't we just love when shit's not what it's supposed to be?
Yes, so it's a good slasher movie, but it's just one that it has a twist in the end that you wouldn't expect if you've never seen this. But if you have seen it, you know what's up. You know what's up. You know what it is.
Yes.
But it is pretty crazy. When I first watched that movie, I was like, oh my God, this is so crazy. I was younger, but I was like, this is so crazy. Oh my God.
Man. And that's so crazy. Like, being young, being a kid, like, you can see
Shit
stuff.
hit more intensely.
Yeah. So, our second slasher film is one of my personal favorites. I actually like this franchise, and it is Sleepaway Camp.
I don't know if I've watched it, but I've heard of it.
Here's the thing: you've probably seen parts of it, and
Maybe.
didn't even know that it was
Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah. So I'm covering the first film, which was made in 1983.
Ooh.
And this film classic follows Angela Baker. The year is 1975, and her father John Baker and his partner Lenny decide to take Angela and her brother Little Petey on a boating trip. A deadly prank causes Angela to lose her father and her brother.
Ooh.
But after 8 years, Angela moves in with her aunt, who sends her to Camp Arawak. And needless to say, it's a camp experience her and her fellow campmates will never forget.
Damn, now I gotta watch this. That sounds really good.
Yeah, no.
The premise just sounds great. The whole, camping on the lake and stuff in the summertime.
Beautiful stuff.
That just
movie.
all the good tropes that we love in horror. You got the cabin in the woods, the scenes, the settings. You got the summer camp. You got, what's another one, There's just so many. So many good ones.
So many. Ooh, interesting fact. Sleepaway Camp and the whole franchise was actually a precursor to one of most people's favorite slasher films, Friday the 13th. It was the inspiration for it, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a nice little tidbit, because I had no clue.
Mm-hmm.
The shit they don't tell you.
Hollywood for you.
So next we have Residual Haunt. So this will be really, really fun, because both you did. Oh, yeah. These are both okay. Y'all, Residual Haunt. Both of these are really good. So you're in for a treat.
Great minds.
Yeah, I love that movie. Wow. Okay. So our first one is Haunting in Connecticut, and this came out in 2009. The Haunting in Connecticut is a supernatural horror film that is allegedly it's allegedly based on the hauntings of the Snedeker family, and honestly, I would be down to cover the hauntings of the Snedeker family, the real hauntings, because there are some damning pieces of information with that. So let us know if you guys would be interested in us covering the real story behind the haunting in Connecticut. That would be really fun.
Actually, I would love that.
Yeah, because we're doing. I think we should just tell them and spoil it. But we're doing something like that next week. We're doing our first ever nighttime nostalgia episode. And it's going to be covering the true origin behind a classic show that we all watched growing up.
Could you guess what it is?
Yeah. Comment below what you think the show is, because it's something I'm sure. I'm sure. And it's a favorite. Don't give them hints.
You're not going to get it.
Yes, they would if they know. I just got it.
If they know. Well, of course you got it, because we're here for it.
All right, so yeah, that's true. So the movie follows the Campbells, who move into an old home with a deep past.
Can we just pause right there real quick? Stop doing that, people.
I swear. So the home was built with a mortuary below. The son, Matt, who has cancer, begins having strange experiences that simply can't be explained. Then things escalate and the malevolent spirits get violent. So it's your classic haunted house vibe from a horror movie, but it's just really good. It's really, really good.
We love that here.
Yeah, the horror elements that are added to this film are they're more on the subtle side,
Yeah,
but they're still effective.
Yeah, they're very nuanced in the film, but
yeah, and it's different. And we highlighted this movie in our Ectoplasm and Other Strange Occurrences episode.
We did.
Because in this movie, the younger son ends up having an experience that includes ectoplasm and a whole ritual, and it's just a really good movie. I don't want to spoil it, but it's a great movie. No spoilers this episode. We're not trying to spoil anything. Just give you a premise.
That's not our jurisdiction.
Exactly. We just want to give the overall premise of the film, so that way you can see if it's something that you'd be interested in checking out.
Hey.
I'm excited for our B-rated.
Oh, dude, same. So, our next Residual Haunt movie is one of my personal favorites. Actually, most of these on the list that I did are my personal favorites.
Yeah. No, but this one's really, really good.
Yes.
I remember the first time I ever watched this movie.
Yes, same. And it is 1408, and it is a 2007 film.
Yes. You notice how the best horror came out in the early 2000s, late 90s?
Yeah, because that's when people actually gave a fuck about making movies. You know what? Let's not.
Yeah, we're in the time of remakes right now. Nothing original or authentic. I need to finish writing my book so I can turn that shit into an adaptation, because I haven't seen anybody do that yet. At all.
Get to it. You got it.
I need to do it before somebody does.
And even if they do, I mean, I'm sure yours will still be better.
I mean, it's not about being better. I just want to be the first.
It's not. But like certain nuances are just anyway. The film follows Mike Insland, an author who enjoys investigating allegedly haunted houses, as he rents the mysterious room 1408 at the Dolphin Hotel in New York City.
I wonder if that's a real hotel.
Yeah, I don't know. I would definitely look into it though.
I wonder if it's based off of like real accounts, or based off of theories from a hotel.
Mm-hmm. And once inside, he realized that there was way more to the room than he ever imagined.
Yeah, this is a great, great film. It takes away the haunted house element and puts it into just something that everybody can relate to in a different way. It puts it into the perspective of a haunted hotel room.
Yes.
And it was done very well.
You know, funny enough,
wasn't Samuel L. Jackson in this movie?
Yes, Samuel L. Jackson was in the movie.
And the main character, I forgot his name. He's a good actor.
Have you ever seen Better Off Dead? John Cusack.
Oh, is that who it is?
Yes, I believe that's his name.
Cool. Sound about right.
Yeah, I believe that's his name. But I love that movie and it's really funny that I like that movie because I remember watching Sweet Life of Zack and Cody as a kid, and they did like a haunted apartment room episode.
I remember that too.
And
with the picture?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then to actually see a movie.
But I feel like that's more haunted object.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But hey, this is going to be a fun category. At least I enjoy it myself.
Oh, I have a great recommendation. Yeah.
This is the guts and gore category. And our first film is Ichi the Killer. A 2001 film.
Haven't heard of this. Is this a Korean?
No, this is a Japanese film.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. And to keep it short and brief, because, if I were to actually try to explain it, it gives away so much.
Yeah. But, no spoilers.
Yeah.
Trying to keep it vague.
Keep it short and brief. This 2001 Japanese gore film follows a Yakuza enforcer as he runs across a psychotic killer who has a bloodlust for anyone that gets in his way. And interesting fact, the killer, Ichi, by the way, that's his name. The killer.
Ichi the Killer.
yeah. It's literally his name. There's no. But this character inspired Heath Ledger's Joker for Batman.
Interesting. Okay.
So, yeah.
Wow. Kind of like an origin story.
Mm-hmm.
But, unrelated.
And
I can dig it.
Fair warning. This film is very graphic. Very, very graphic.
But if you're looking for guts and gore, you're going to get guts and gore if we're recommending it. Yeah. And with that being said, our next one is The Devil's Rejects.
Another favorite.
I love this movie so much. It came out in 2005. It's a Rob Zombie movie, so you already know what it is.
Halloween guy, Rob Zombie.
Right. And this one is very graphic as well. All of his movies are just intense.
I fuck with it.
Intense. But that's what makes it good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this classic is another comedy horror and was produced and directed by Rob Zombie. Rob Zombie has good taste in horror, of course, as we all know. And another notable gem by him is House of a Thousand Corpses, and I love House of a Thousand Corpses, which is the precursor to Devil's Rejects.
For sure. Oh,
yeah, it is hilarious.
that's right.
Yeah, it's like a there's two movies. Yeah, Devil's Rejects is the sequel to House of a Thousand Corpses.
Fucking great movies.
They're both great. Yeah, and so if you're looking for more guts and gore, definitely check out both of these. I recommend watching House of a Thousand Corpses first.
Honestly,
just so you can get an idea.
I can give you guys a whole list of guts and gore movies that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's some good ones out there. So, Devil's Rejects is about 3 members of a psychopathic family from the previous movie, House of a Thousand Corpses. So, yeah, I can't really explain too much more about the premise. Plus, the plot of the film is kind of just like all over the place and just ties up loose strings from like the last movie. So, yeah, I just recommend checking out the both of them.
Definitely.
Honestly, and they're so good. They're so good. The acting, it's just so campy and satirical. It's just funny. It's funny.
Love it. You just can't.
But it's very gory.
Yeah.
So you get the best of both worlds. A good laugh.
Hannah Montana said it best.
I swear.
We are going to take a second to thank our sponsors. See you soon.
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. It's free and it's easy to use.
There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast straight from your phone or computer, making it the best user experience around.
Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more, making it so you don't have to upload to each individual platform.
And the best thing about it, you can make money straight from your podcast with no minimum listenership.
It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
So please, download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. And that's anchor.fm, spelled ANCHOR.FM.
So what are you doing? Download the free Anchor app now.
And we're back.
Like a butt crack.
This is going to be a great fucking topic.
Yes. So now we're on to haunted objects, and you can go first.
Haunted objects.
Mine's so good.
Ooh.
What?
You go for... Nah, we can save yours for
yeah.
So, my object is the puzzle box from the Hellraiser franchise. And it's originally called the Lamet Configuration, which was a puzzle box created by toymaker Philip Lamarchant in the 18th century. And it is home to the Cenobites. If you're familiar, they are the keepers of the box. And these keepers include Pinhead, Chatterer, and Butterball.
Is Pinhead from 13 Ghosts?
Is he in there? Is he? Huh.
The guy with the cage on his head?
No.
And he's got like nails sticking out?
No.
Or is that just a completely different character?
Different character.
13 Ghosts is a really good movie too, though.
Yes, it is.
That's a classic, for sure.
Super classic.
That movie used to scare the fuck out of me growing up.
So, there's also another...
Bloody Mary.
There's also another Cenobite, and her name is kind of funny. Her name is Deep Throat.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Interesting. What's her superpower?
She just open her shit wide open.
Like Melina.
And just swallow people. Yeah.
That throw deep. Okay.
Yeah.
So our second haunted object is the button in Drag Me to Hell.
Ooh.
And this
Fuck
movie,
that old lady, bro.
I swear, this movie came out in 2009. No, I swear to God, this just show the true horror elements of working in customer service.
Literally, you seen her neck
Come across the wrong motherfucker.
get cursed and shit.
Because old people are the worst customers. Like, let's be real. Let's be real. They're so disrespectful.
You're right. I've come across
always starting shit. So anyway, this film is categorized as supernatural, but the real horror falls in the fate of a button.
Fucking button.
It's just so clever. A button.
A button.
A button. So in Drag Me to Hell, a lone officer is trying to prove to her boss that she is fit for the job and can make hard decisions when needed.
Oof.
So, you know, she's trying to prove
Do
her worth.
damn job.
Yeah. With this, she chooses not to extend an old lady's mortgage. But the woman takes revenge when she places a curse on the loan officer. The intense roller coaster ride is full of the loan officer facing torment for 3 days until she is ultimately sent to the depths of hell. Love it. I
will say that film, I love the effects in it.
Yeah. And the end, like the last scene right before the credits is chef's kiss.
Completely.
Because, like,
I remember
you
watching
get what you were waiting for, the build up, you know?
I watched it when I was younger with my grandmother in her room, to be specific, and I was so scared. I was like, bro, what the fuck is this? And so, like, for the next month, I was super nice to my grandma, you know, because I don't know if she was on that type of time.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel you. That's crazy. But yeah, that's a really good movie. Not much else to say. It's just really good. And it's just not what you would expect.
Actually, I do think Drag Me to Hell's on Netflix, if you're looking.
I believe it. They did add it, yeah. And honestly, I'm really enjoying us, like, going through, like, a watch list of horror films. I feel like I'd be down for us to, like, incorporate a couple more genres in our last episode of this month.
Oh,
that one's going to be jam-packed. That one's probably going to be, like, an extra long episode, like, probably upwards almost 2 hours or something.
Hey. I hear a DTM special.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's in the
I mean, it's spooky season. This is the month of Deeper Than Most. We talk about the paranormal. We talk about we literally talk about so much shit. It's honestly hard to keep up. But that's what makes it so great. Because we have something for everybody. Hey, even if you don't agree with what we're saying.
It's a recap.
Recap of what?
Damn. I don't know why I said that shit. I'm overthinking this will have to be fucking couple months, guys. Couple months. It's coming. New Year.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no. Anyway, so now we are on to Possession.
Oh, these are always fun.
Yeah, this is really fun. I have a couple of other, like, genres that I want to touch on that we didn't add.
We just throw them in there.
Because there's some good movies, like Home Invasion, you know?
Yeah,
like, all types of stuff. Zombie, indie, low budget, like, just all types, like, streaming service horror only, anthology. There's just so many.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, let's not spoil it. Let's get into your thing.
So our first film is Evil Dead, and this is the first one. This is the 1981 film, not the remake.
The OG.
Yeah, I love.
These are good recommendations.
Yes.
Oh, so good.
So getting into the Evil Dead, it follows Ash, his girlfriend, and their friends as they hike into the woods for a fun night getaway, where they find an old book called the Necronomicon.
I love that name.
They soon found out that this book reawakens the dead whenever it's read aloud. So, guess what they do? They take the risk and they release an unspeakable evil. A night getaway riddled in terror.
Yeah, and honestly, if they didn't open the book and read it aloud, there would be no movie. So
what would they be doing?
Of course, they had to fuck up, you know, in order for it to work.
Hey, plot. Yeah, the night.
But Evil Dead is just a good movie. Definitely the OG over, like, remakes.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of remakes.
I'm picky about remakes. Yeah. It's gotta prove its worth.
It's gotta
So because, like, if they were to remake this movie, I would be like, nobody did it like Megan, you know? Nobody did.
No, they don't need to do that.
Exactly.
They better not ever do that.
I hope they don't. Just keep it a classic.
Because I don't even know who they would, like...
Nobody would compare.
Like,
Nobody.
I'm trying to think. I don't know who they would even...
So our next Possession film is Jennifer's Body. Whoa!
A fucking great movie.
Yeah, this is a good one. Came out in 2009, and it is starring Megan Fox. Jennifer's Body is an iconic comedy horror film about a demonically possessed teen girl. Everything we know and love.
Right.
Also starring Amanda Seyfried. Is it Seyfried or Seyfried?
It's Seyfried.
Seyfried? Okay.
Safe ride.
Jennifer is horrifically murdered by a trashy boy band who made a deal with the devil for fame and fortune. Having to sacrifice a virgin, they take the chance with Jennifer. When she comes to after the sacrifice being revoked, since Jennifer wasn't a virgin, they fucked up, chose the wrong one. She came back with a taste for men. And Amanda's character plays Jen's best friend, and she makes an effort to stop her binge. However, there are so many deeper elements to the story and concept that truly make it one of a kind, and that I think that's definitely why it's just so good. Like, it's really just an iconic movie.
It is.
Kind of like Mean Girls. It's like a staple.
It's one of those
movie.
movies where, like,
you gotta watch it.
You gotta watch it.
And it truly is deeper than just like dead girl comes back. I swear. Comes back and like eats boys. Like it tackles the conversation about like teenage girl relationships with other teenage girls and trying to find yourself and having to fit stereotypes, like with how Amanda's character and Megan Fox's character are like completely different types of girls in high school. It just shows Amanda wasn't having that shit and she left and they were just stuck with Megan. They were stuck with Megan, so they were like, well, we might as well take the chance. And it's crazy because I recently found out Jennifer's body is based off of a real case that went down pretty much the same way.
Pretty similar.
It just sounds so like horrifying and terrible to think about because it really was a gruesome, graphic crime committed against like an innocent teen girl. Yeah. So there's just a lot of different elements in this movie that just make for a great film. It has also recently gained a cult following. It honestly had one when it first came out and when I was like younger, but it's coming full circle again.
It'll come back around.
Hell yeah. It never gets old. It's literally that good. So
it'll definitely come back around. Yeah. Because they're running out of
ideas.
Out of ideas, honestly. But this is also another great category.
Yeah, these are good. And there's so many different ones.
Oh, guys.
Franchises, everything.
We are getting into our found footage category.
Woo! Cue claps and sirens and sounds.
Yeah. Okay, so our first movie is Grave Encounters. And honestly, I believe
I don't think I've seen this.
What?
Is this the one with that CP3 EP character that I showed you a picture of and I was like, I think it's from a video game.
Yeah.
But I think it was from this movie.
Yeah, it's actually from the second one. Yeah.
Okay.
So this 2011.
I thought it was real. That's why.
No, you're not the only one. People did used to actually think it was real.
Yeah, because the way the post was made, it seemed very real, and that motherfucker looked real too.
For a long time.
We'll insert the picture.
It was just a theory.
A hoax.
It was like, oh, it's real. So this 2011 film followed a production crew hoping to come across some spooky pals in an abandoned mental hospital.
Okay.
See,
that's a good plot for horror as well. The mental asylums and stuff, graveyards, all that shit.
And so things get more and more twisted the longer they stay. They try escaping, but the hospital seems to be in a endless, hellish loop.
Ooh, yeah, I've never seen this. Now I'm intrigued. Is it actually good?
It's good to a fault. Like it's cheesy.
Found footage, is typically low par.
Yeah, but I like it.
But they're fun.
Yeah, no, I think you would like it a lot.
Okay. Well, if I like this second movie, then I'm sure I would like that.
That's what I was just thinking about.
The second movie is, it's cutting the thin line between low budget and B-rated.
And they just threw
and it's a
shit
very
together.
line.
It's a good movie.
But it's so good. So our next one is Quarantine. Hey, how you doing? Still in it,
Yeah.
Technically. 2000 this came out in 2008. So this is your classic found footage film following the unprecedented horror that follows a news anchor and her camera guy along with the fireman crew that they were like job shadowing that day.
I think they were like shadowing or whatever they were doing.
Asking them questions what firemen do in their day-to-day work
like and
life. Yeah. But during this investigation, they go to a sickly apartment complex And it all goes downhill from there. I don't even think the shit was on fire. I think there was just like, they were talking about the old lady didn't want to come out of her apartment or something. She was really sick. And it just started going downhill from there. Like, shit started hitting the fan. So this is actually a remake to the Spanish film Wreck, which is honestly just as good, if not better.
I've seen it. Isn't there like a couple of those movies?
Yeah, there's like Wreck 2. I think there's only 2.
Yeah.
Maybe 3. But, yeah. So if you do check out Quarantine, or if you have seen Quarantine already, definitely watch Wreck, and you can like compare the two and see where the inspiration came from, because Wreck was the original.
Wreck is also, well, I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but I know both of them were.
So.
Both Wreck and Wreck 2 were
and there's a second Quarantine movie as well, Quarantine 2, I think, right?
Yes,
I believe so.
I think so.
But it's not that good. So inside the building, a deadly mutation of rabies is spreading like wildfire, with people dying left and right. The film uses zero music and only sound effects with dialogue, which is something I didn't notice when I watched it.
I didn't notice that either. Now that you say that. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it makes sense. And that kind of adds to the horror element in a different way, because... Damn, take a shot every time I say horror element in this episode. I'm probably like 10 in right now.
Game.
But, I forgot where I was going with that, so... Yeah. Anyways, go ahead. Ooh, these are good.
We're good at what we do, man.
Wow.
We're good at what we do.
Good movies. Our next genre is comedy horror. Ooh, this is a good one. Of course. Yes. Who doesn't love a good laugh and a good scare? So first we have The Babysitter, which came...
Before you get into it, is this like one of your favorites? Or is
Hell yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm like, I love The Babysitter.
Yeah, okay.
The original one. The second one was good.
Yeah,
but
the second one was
the original one, I just love it. I loved it. It was just so funny. The actor that plays the main character, he was just perfect for the role. He did a good job.
Gives me Scott Pilgrim vibes, but that's a different story.
I haven't seen that. But Babysitter came out in 2017, and this Netflix comedy horror stars Samara Weaving, Robbie Amell, which is that guy that's in like every horror movie. I feel like he was in Cabin in the Woods.
Robbie Amell.
He's in all types of shit.
The guy that played Fred for one of the damn Scooby-Doo. Yeah.
Yes, him. And, of course, Bella Thorne. Good old Bella Thorne.
You know, we just gonna let that be what it is.
I mean, her acting wasn't bad in my opinion. Oh, and didn't have King Botch?
That nigga, yeah, him too.
King Bach? King Bach? Bach? I don't know.
Bach.
After Vine went away, I forgot how to say his name.
Whatever.
And he's been in a lot of movies since Vine.
So many.
Yeah, he's trying to break out into Hollywood.
He's been in comedy,
but he's not a good actor. Well, let me not say it that harshly. I personally don't.
To keep it,
I'm not a fan of his acting.
He's just not.
He's not for me.
Yeah.
So the film, as you would guess, is about a boy being left home one night with his hot babysitter. However, with the curiosity of what she does when he is asleep lures him to take a peek, he is shocked with the gruesome reality of it all. Another deal with the devil.
All these fucking... Ooh.
Yes. And Netflix released the sequel to this film last year, 2020. And, I mean, the sequel is good, like we said, but... just watch the original. It's so good. It's so good and it's so funny.
Go into it thinking Home Alone with a twist.
Yes, Home Alone, but grown.
Literally.
And just more satirical, honestly.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, Home Alone kind of took it so seriously.
Too serious.
Babysitter doesn't.
So, our second film is Zombieland.
This is a good one, too.
I love this movie.
All the Zombieland movies are good.
Yeah, both of them are fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised we didn't put, well, I don't know what category that would be in, but none of, we didn't put Final Destination. I guess that would be a part of, a series or a franchise. We should do a franchise genre, too, because there's so many good franchises.
That would be fun. Oh, fuck
damn. Yeah. Okay, anyways, go.
This zombie flick follows a shy student trying to get to his family in Ohio. in the midst of the 21st century apocalypse.
I love zombie films
They're
and
so
shows.
fun. They're fun to watch. Along his journey, he befriends a gunslinger with a Twinkie obsession and two sisters looking to get to an amusement park. This band of misfits join forces and take on the undead.
Fun! Woo!
Which they also do X amount of years later with the second film.
Yes. And I haven't seen the second one.
I haven't either. But
maybe we should.
Guess what? We gonna watch it.
Mm-hmm. So now we're on to animated horror. This one, ooh, I've never heard of this. You chose an old one. Wow, okay.
Welcome to the animated horror category, my friends, and we are covering Wicked City from 1987.
Yeah, I've never heard of this.
Fucking love animated horror. Set in Hong Kong in the late 80s, the human race is stuck attempting to coexist with the black world, aka a world of demons. It follows a electronics businessman who is a secret black guard agent that is trying to restore the treaty between the worlds.
Ooh,
and this film, honestly, it could have been in the gore category.
Oh, is it gory?
It's fucking wild.
Really? With that, like, synopsis of the premise of the film, like, I would have never guessed.
Yeah, it's
that it would be, like, super gory.
You'd have to watch it. It's gross. Like, you gotta watch it.
Adult cartoons, I'm always down. So, yeah, I've never seen that. Now I feel like I might have to check that out.
It's on Tubi if you're interested.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it actually good?
Yeah, I like
it.
Oh,
okay.
But the only thing that might kill you is, like, the way the dialogue is. Keep in mind, it's the 80s. So...
Is it, like, granny sounding?
Yeah.
Okay. But that kind of adds to it, though. It makes it nostalgic. So our second movie is Coraline. This is one of my favorite movies just in general. I just remember watching this movie so much throughout my childhood, like, vividly. And it was just always so good. So this came out in 2009, and Coraline is a beautifully made stock animated dark fantasy film, so not necessarily considered horror, but as a kid, this shit is spooky as fuck because just the idea of this is wild. So the story unfolds with the perspective of Coraline herself, who ends up finding an idealized parallel universe a lot like her reality, but better. However, all good things come at a price, and the price to pay is trading your eyes for buttons. And we're bringing buttons back.
More buttons.
I'm bringing buttons back. Yeah. Saying.
Oh my God.
Let me stop. But also, I don't know if you know this. Most people do that have seen Coraline, but Coraline is actually based off of the novel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, but I feel like they did such a good job, like, with turning this into a movie.
This is a great adaptation.
Yeah, it was done really good.
The adaptation's right. But
exactly. It's still different than the book, I've heard, but I didn't read the book. But I still love it, like, nonetheless. It's really good, like, as a standalone movie and probably as like an adaptation.
It's pretty good. I love it.
Yeah. This is only the tip of the iceberg of the twisted details for this film, though. So it's just way deeper. There's so many other hidden meanings in this film. You gotta watch it like multiple times to get it. But it's so good, and it's just a fun ride. It's a fun watch, you know? And it brings back the kid in you.
How we love that.
I know, acting like we're like 40.
Right.
We're still kids.
We're young.
So our last category is B-rated. Everybody loves a good B-rated film. It's a guilty pleasure. How could you not? Exactly.
The first movie, it is Reanimator, and this is the 1985 film. It follows Herbert West as he devises a formula to bring the dead back to life.
Ooh.
He goes to Arkham, Massachusetts to further his studies, where he ends up befriending a local and his girlfriend. After renting a room from them, him and his friend do some freaky experiments that horrify everyone.
I've never seen this either.
Really?
Yeah, and I noticed something throughout this episode is that you're into, like, older classic horror films. Yeah. And I'm into, like, early 2000s horror films.
Yep.
Very interesting.
Because, like, for me, from, like, the late 80s, early to late 80s to, like, early 90s and early 2000s.
80s horror was definitely good, though.
Horror movies and, like, you know, movies like that had a golden age. It's fucking great.
Yeah. They were at their peak. That's when they started figuring shit out. Like, damn, this shit is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Let's just make everything.
That's when you had your Scorsese's, your Rob Zombies around, and things were just good.
The good old days. So our second movie on or under B-rated is Eight-Legged Freaks.
This is actually a good movie. Like, it's a good movie.
Now, this one, not everybody would say is horror. And I feel like this is subjective horror. This is horror for those who actually have a real life fear for arachnids, like an arachnophobia, literally. Because that would be scary as fuck.
No, honestly,
like what happens in this movie, I would die.
To keep it honest though, like, I feel like everybody has a tiny fear of spiders. Cause like,
well, especially if they end up becoming eight-legged freaks. Like, come on now.
Or big ass spiders.
So, this film was originally titled A Rack Attack. And it's a monster comedy action film. It stars David Arquette from Scream and Scarlett Johansson. I didn't even know that. Like, I haven't seen this movie in years. And I had no clue that Scarlett Johansson was in this. She's came a long way. From B-rated to, like, A-list celebrity.
Fucking Disney.
Wait, but she was on Disney?
Well, Marvel owns Disney, so... Oh. Well, Disney owns Marvel.
Wow,
so.
I missed the mark. And then David Arquette from Scream.
Arquette.
Oh, Arquette? Oops, David Arquette from Scream. The plot follows a colony of spiders who end up exposed to toxic waste.
A fucking colony.
Yeah, and the motherfuckers are huge. Like, a colony of spiders is thousands. Probably more, but at least thousands.
In short, it's a lot of motherfucking spiders.
Yeah. So once exposed to the toxic waste, they mutate, the toxic waste ends up mutating them into gigantic and horrific monsters. Once loose, they head to a small mining town nearby, and things go haywire from there. And this movie is just like crazy. It's just like so much shit is going on throughout the whole movie. Everybody's screaming and running and freaking out.
Oh my god.
Fucking spiders just everywhere. It's intense, but it's a good B-rated film, I would say.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Not the best, but it's good.
It's good.
And thinking about it, back on Guts and Gore, I'm surprised we didn't bring up Hostel.
Right.
But that's kind of a franchise too.
Yeah.
Anyways. I keep bringing up the old topics and shit. So, that was it. That was our watch list. Our top 10, well, not even top 10 genres, but our first 10 horror genres.
Just little tidbits of things that we like.
Yeah. I know. I feel like that was good for us to get a little personal and talk about just what we enjoy. And it's nice to just have more of a chill episode. Like, take a chill pill. Just sit here, get comfortable, talk to you guys. Not have to talk about anything serious.
Definitely.
No dose of the most, nothing crazy going on in the world. No F&C. It's just us chilling and talking. Yeah, I like that. So now we jump into our ending questions.
Wait. We are in the ending questions. And the first one is, what is your favorite horror film genre?
Ooh, out of all of them, I would say psychological thrillers. Only because I just like using my brain and I like piecing everything together, and then you're like, oh my god, all this shit makes sense. Like, that's what I like. I like the thrill of it. So yeah, I would definitely say psychological thrillers for sure.
For me, it's a tie between psych thrillers and Guts and Gore.
I was thinking Guts and Gore too.
Because
Guts and Gore is just good. You need that true horror.
You just need a little nonsense and violence.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
The good special effects.
Exactly.
So the second question is, would you recommend any of these to a new horror fan or friend? Like any of these movies? And which one?
Definitely. If I were to try to ease somebody into the horror genre, honestly, I would definitely start them off with Sleepaway Camp.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's I would say a good start. I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Definitely. I wonder if that's on Tubi too. Wherever it is, like, I just want you to watch it so you can give me your take on it, and then, you know.
Right, yeah. For me, I would definitely say if the person is into guts and gore, I feel like it's a good way to start. Like, just jump in head first. Guts and gore. Let's get it done and over with.
Oh, yeah, get it out the way.
And I would definitely recommend House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects, because they are classics. Sure. And they're done just really well. And they're campy, and they're fun. It's entertaining. It's a good ride. So, yeah.
Well, these last 2 questions are top tier. Good job.
Thank you.
So, question number 3. What horror film has scared you the most in your entire life? Fuck.
I know. I got mine.
Honestly, it's a film that's not even on this list. And
Same.
It's called, is it The Curse or is it The Bite? Whatever it's called. I think it's The Curse. But I remember watching it on VHS when I was younger, and this man basically got bit by a snake and literally started turning into a snake. And the transformation...
That's terrifying.
The transformation was fucking scary.
Sounds like, Tusk.
It does.
Yeah, that's weird. That sounds terrifying, honestly.
Yeah.
For me, it's honestly one of my favorite horror films. I don't know why. It's just so good to me and scary. I used to be home alone a lot growing up because I lived with my dad and he was a cop, so he would be gone at night. And this movie just scared the fuck out of me because I knew that I was home alone at night.
Right.
And I'm a kid, so if somebody could get these motherfuckers that are grown, they're definitely going to get me. Yeah. And that movie is The Strangers. This movie has scared the fuck out of me all my life, honestly. I just love it so much, though. It's done so good. It's timeless. It never gets old. And the plot is just so simple, but that's all it needs. That's literally all it needs. And I was surprised that I didn't add this to the list either, but I don't know. It wouldn't have fit any of these genres.
Right.
It would have to be like home invasion.
Right.
So...
there's so many different subgenres.
Yes,
so, you know.
Exactly. So yeah, The Strangers, definitely check it out if you haven't. It's so good. It's so good.
Also, like,
I haven't seen the second one, so I can't really speak on that. But
I feel that. Also, side note, like, I definitely recommend checking out international films and what they have to offer in this genre,
like Parasite,
because trust
Ichi
me,
the Killer.
You will definitely be intrigued by what other like countries, what they do with their
foreign films. Genres. They've got good stuff.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Some usually better, honestly. Like Squid Games, for example. That is literally that was not made here in the US, and it's so damn good. It's literally captivated everybody. So that right there, it should tell you.
And if you're looking for something similar to that, check out Strangers from Hell.
And I heard Alice in Borderlands is good as well. Like better than Squid Games, apparently.
Yes. It's like Squid Game,
but
amplified.
Better. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So our last question is, do you think horror is more terrifying than reality or vice versa? And
this is a great question because
it is.
In my personal opinion, I feel like reality is more scary.
I agree.
And it's only because it's so like unfiltered. Everything's unfiltered and uncensored for us here in reality.
And raw.
Yeah, so if you had to watch somebody like go through a situation and it kind of resembles like a guts and gore film, I don't think you'd be as comfortable as you would just going to the movies or watching it on a streaming.
I don't even think it's the premise of that. I think it's the idea that reality itself is literally scarier than anything horror could bring to the table.
Right.
Like the fact that, you know, we have to fear going to the grocery store or going to the movies, just living everyday life, driving down the road, getting stopped by authorities, like just things that we shouldn't have to be scared about. That is what makes it more scary, because these are mundane, everyday things that you should feel safe. You should feel comfortable. You can't even go to school without the fear of a school shooting happening.
Active shooter,
you know? Exactly. And so I definitely feel like it's in the context of, okay, is a cabin in the woods scenario with like these super hot teens making out, like doing this and that, and then a random slasher that escaped a mental asylum comes and kills them. Is that more scary than our reality of police brutality or racism or sexism
Actual
or
serial killers on the loose.
exactly, or terrorism or just anything, literally anything. And I agree, reality is scarier.
Yeah.
When you put it in that context.
Because, like, you have to live with it. Like, you have to experience it. And experiences can really fuck you up.
But I don't think that, you know, the things that are shown in horror films really could compare to our reality.
They have a line.
Our reality is already fucked up enough.
Right.
Pretty much. So, yeah. That was our 10...
Our DTM horror take.
Yeah, some of our favorite movies. I don't know what we're titling this episode. Just a shitload of horror movies.
Yeah.
I think that's what we should title it. A shitload of horror movies. Yeah, pretty much. Episode 37, a shitload of horror movies. That's what we're doing.
I'm down for it.
Yeah. So, I'm super excited for next week's episode. It's going to be a treat. And we have an F&C going along with it. So, buckle in and get ready. Get fast. Get steady. And we hope you guys enjoyed that triple upload last week. I'm going to say it again. Triple upload. Literally uploaded 3 episodes back to back to back.
It's a three-peat.
Day after day after day.
After day.
And... you know, we're just coming with the heat. This is our first Halloween. This is the first ever... what did I call it at the beginning? Spookiest time of the... no, you said...
DTM Spooky Corner.
DTM Spooky Corner. This is our first ever DTM Spooky Corner month.
Yes.
That's a mouthful. But, yeah.
Hey.
Now your mouth is full and your brain.
And you got a list of fucking movies to watch. Also,
Yes.
36 other episodes to check out.
Yes. And also tell us what your favorite horror movie is. You know, give us some recommendations because we gave y'all a lot. So, yeah. With all of that being said,
I would say I've been your host, DJ.
and I've been your host, Sav.
And we are going to keep it spooky. You're going to keep watching and keep loving. And we'll catch you next week on
Deeper Than Most.